Hello farmers, welcome back to East Vineland. We're getting ready to start working on our own fields this spring, but I've been rather busy this morning. Let's go in and I want to collect on all these contracts. I got a lot of flashing numbers going on here. Let's go down to the contracts. A lot of fertilizing contracts. Can I collect on this cultivating job that's already been done by one of my workers? Did not lease it from there, so we can go ahead and collect on that. And all these fertilizing contracts. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of them here. Let's go ahead and collect. We are doing another cultivating job up here for, well, it says almost 8,000, but I leased the cultivator for that field. So it's going to be somewhere around 6,800-ish, somewhere around there. There are some sowing contracts. If I do these sowing contracts, I might do it with my own equipment because these are small seeders, and I got a 6-meter wide one, so might go ahead and do that later on. But I definitely want to get focused on my fields to start March here, at least with you guys. We got our new stone picker, well, new used stone picker. That was for sale, so it shouldn't take us long to get the stones out of here. Same one I have on No Man's Land. This is the Stevie modded one. As you can see, we are working at a decent 14 miles an hour. Actually, I think it's going to go up to 16, but it's probably got a little bit of wear on it. But it does hold 20,000 liters of stones, so should not have no problem getting all the stones in here. Oh yeah, what did that get me up to? 87,000. Okay, so I was about at 60,000 when I started doing the jobs this morning. Up to 87,000. Now, there's a couple things I want to do with the money next. I want to buy another field, but I also want to buy a decent tractor, horsepower-wise. This tractor's decent, but it's on the small-ish side, and I could really use a decent-sized one, just because, well, I could actually have a tractor right now plowing the other field. The field number, is it 6 or 8? Whatever the one it is we just bought. That's got some, I think they put barley into it or something like that. I want to plow it on up. I don't want barley in that field. I want to replant it with some soybean and probably make the field just a little bit bigger as well. We got a little bit more land there than what the field size is. So expand the field just a little bit. Redo it over and plop in some lovely soybean. This field here, I'm just going to go ahead and put some wheat into it, and whatever we get out the field, probably just go ahead and give it to the chickens. I'm not even going to bother. I've been talking about getting the grain mill down south and use that as my silo for the grain. Make some flour with it and whatever else, but probably not going to get a whole bunch of grain out this field. We'll see when the late summer, early fall comes and it comes time to harvest this field, exactly what we get off it. If I got enough feed for the chickens, then we'll have a look at the grain mill to see if it's time to purchase it. But for now, it's just on the back burner. It's a thought, and we'll see how it goes. So, yep, going to take care of this field first thing, because this field's already been plowed. As you can see, we did it last year. It's already been soil sampled, so I just need to pick up the stones, plant it, and then when the crops hit the first growth stage, come over here and fertilize it. Now, we are running precision farming, and from what I've been told, the crop sensors are not really necessary to actually get the right amount of fertilizer down for the crops. So they're just a cosmetic thing right now, and for 15 grand, yeah, I think I'll go without them right now. If I don't really need them, we'll just spread the fertilizer on it and hope for the best and see how the totals actually come out. And this is what I like about this stone picker right here, even though I was looking at probably getting the black sheep modding one because the working width is like twice as wide, but the capacity on the stones was still kind of on the low side. You look at a field this size here, we're already at 1,300 stones, and I think the black sheep modding one, I don't want to say only holds like 4,000 liters, which is still quite a bit compared to the in-game one. It's going to fill up rather quickly when we start doing bigger fields. And when it comes to stone picking, I don't mind doing the stone picking, but as for in the video, it can get kind of dull rather quickly. So But we're going to finish this field rather quickly, so that's why I'm showing it. So I'd rather have it on a worker, and if we're going to have a worker picking up stones, definitely need a high capacity so they can keep on working. Good to see that we're getting done with field number 67. It says 50% done, but I don't think that's the whole field that they're doing. I think it's one of those split fields, so I have to double check when they get done. But I must say, it feels really good to be working in our own fields. Now, when I go to harvest the grass for the first time this year, after we get done cutting our own grass, I'll have to go around with the drill and replant the grass, because that will help out my environmental score on those fields. The original seeder that we have is not a direct drill, and direct drill will give me a higher score in those fields. So the best time to probably reseed it is right after I cut the grass. That way the grass is in the harvest stage, so I can plant it. I'm not going to lose any time on the grass growing. So right now, yeah, my next focus is on just keep checking the store page for sales stuff and see what comes up. I'm looking for a good tractor, horsepower wise, like in the 3 to 400, 450 range. I don't need anything bigger than that. But other than that, then you know, we'll keep looking at some land around and see what comes up, see what we can afford. A lot of good fields around. I'd like to stay somewhat in this region of the map. I don't want to be traveling back and forth to a lot of the fields. I don't mind to do so, but in the early stages, I think keeping around this general area would be kind of a good thing. But I am kind of focused on maybe buying another plot of land right up behind the fuel refinery, because I want to be able to put down another shed. And also be looking at putting down the sheep for milking and cheese and all that kind of stuff. I want to give that a try. Right now I'm just using this grass field as a parking lot. You can see I've been emptying out that shed little by little. This already has seed on it. When I was down at the store, I said, well, while I'm there, I might as well top it off. Also, I want to go in here. I can go ahead and sell my other seeder. No, that's headers. What am I doing here? Seeders. Because... so that's not a seeder? Is it a weeder? Might be considered a weeder. Oh, grass care. There it is. Yep, I'm not going to get a whole bunch for it. Now, like I said, one of the things that we weren't allowed to do is just buy something and sell it unless we're upgrading it. Well, we definitely have an upgrade here, so we're all set there. All right, let's go plant some wheat. I think so far in East Vineland, all the contracts I've done, I may have done one seeding contract, and that's about it. And then other than planting our own grass fields, I haven't done any seeding whatsoever. Those contracts come and go rather quickly. Not the biggest drill in the world, but for the fields that we have, it is a very good starting piece of equipment. For 40 grand, hard to complain about that at all. Variable seed rate, which is kind of on the right in the middle. And this direct drill right here only requires a 160 horsepower tractor, and we got a 205, so if you're looking for a good starting piece of equipment, this is a direct drill, like I said. This is on the Giants Mod Hub. Kind of forgot who the author was, so I apologize for that. Been working in a lot of other farmers' fields, as you can imagine, with all the contracts, and just seeing stones everywhere. It's actually nice to see just, you know, plain old dirt and no stones anywhere for a change. Now I'm trying to figure out if I want to buy the lime production or not, or just sell my stones there and then buy lime when I need it and spread it. I'll probably make that choice once my stone picker is full of stones. I make a trip on up to the lime production. Is that the only place that takes stones here is the question. Question. Stones. That sugar beet. Stones. There we go. Just up at the debris crusher, and that's it. I just don't want to have too many production buildings, that's all. I'll probably just sell the stones, honestly, because I would have to go up there, like, you know, if I do buy it, I kind of would force myself to go up there. It's like, well, I know there's lime up there, and that's where I have to go to get my lime. I'd rather just have a, like, Alien Jim's sheds for buying lime, seed, fertilizer right here at the farm, and not really have to go anywhere. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and sell the stones. We've done lime production quite a bit. Yeah, I don't want to have too many production buildings here. Just the ones that are going to help us out on the farm, like with our animals. And occasionally, like, well, the fuel refinery definitely was and is going to help us out later on. At this point, I am just seeing a lot of, on the Giants Mod Hub for production buildings. I don't want to say the same production buildings, but it's just like, you know, oh, well, here's a bakery. It's like, okay, well, we know about bakeries, but, you know, everyone's just making, like, different types of stuff in there with different ingredients, different recipes. The fish factory, though, that last update, they did seem to help out that one. But production buildings like that is kind of interesting. Something that we haven't seen, but, you know, another bakery, another spinnery, another dairy production. All right, so we got some wheat for the chickens. If I have to go down by sunflower for them this year, I can, or get some harvesting contracts later in the fall. But as I can see, doing harvesting contracts, you don't get that much extra grain like we used to in 19, which is fine. Alright, so this field should be all set until the first or second. I like the way that sounds when it folds up. Yeah, the pH value is kind of bad. Nitrogen value, of course, is very bad. That looks like a nice seed bed right there. It looks really, really good. We'll fertilize it, like I said, after it grows. Yield potential is only 100% because we got sandy loam. I think it's loamy sand is the best quality sand we can have, or ground we can have. Is it sandy loam everywhere in here? Appears that it is. No, there's loamy sand. That's only 80%. I don't know. I haven't really got a hold of that. What sand's better? It's one of those things that it is what it is. I can't change the soil type. But yeah, we'll make those numbers a little bit better. Like I said, after the crop grows, we'll come down here maybe with a 710. But we'll take care of it. We'll get some fertilizer on it. All right, let's head up to the bigger field that's already got barley in it. I know that farmer just put the barley in game about an hour ago, but we're going to tear it on up, and we're going to put some soybean into that. I don't know. Whoa, almost tipped over my seeder right there. I don't know if we'll get to it in this episode, but we got to plow it. We got to pick up the stones. We got to do some soil sampling. Let's get to work. All right, so I'm not really sure I know where the boundary is. I think this boundary down here probably is correct. If I go up to here, scroll in, go to farmlands. Yep. That field is right on the line. All right, so the only place I really want to expand, I guess, is there's a piece right up here. Let me allow to create fields. So we're not expanding the field by too much. And I'm not doing it to make a square field here. I'm just doing it to get us a little bit more crop. And that is the only reason. And in a second here, we're going to set off our worker to finish plowing off the rest of the field. And while they're doing that, I can probably use the 710 to take soil samples off the field. I think the 710 can handle that. I have been thinking about actually putting wider tires. I don't know if I can do that on this class Arion, but putting wider tires on so when I get to areas like that to plow, let me make sure I limit the plow to fields. There we go. Maybe the tires won't spin. Let's come over to here. Let's go ahead and get one of the Franks to start working here. Create job. Field position, like right there, is fine. Open course. 3 headlands would be good. I don't think it's going to take them actually that long to do it. There we go, and you should be able to go on. Speaking of, I don't think we're done in 67. I think that's halfway done. Yep. Nope. Gotta go over to here. So 67 is this field here and this one here, and Courseplay did not know that there was another field behind it. So they're using a beautiful, is this a 1050? Yes, it is a 1050. There was a nice modded 1050 in Farming Simulator 17. Those things were beautiful. I loved them. I used them on Rattlesnake Valley. Lovely cultivator for doing these jobs. Hope more cultivating jobs come up. But seeing that it is spring, I'm thinking most farmers probably already have their crop in, or the fields are ready to be planted in, so probably not many cultivating jobs to do. Let's go to create job. Field position, this field 67. That should be good. 2 headlands is more than enough because that's such a wide implement. Alright, and let's see who we got in there today. Looks like Francine is taking over. And Frank Jr. I know, honestly, if you ever want to know what I look like, Not that far off from looking like that. And that's the stare I get most of the time as well. Yep, so it's not going to take him long to plow this field. He's already got one headland done, so I am moving right along. Anywho, let's go on over here. We're going to grab the 710 and start doing some soil sampling. Get rid of all that barley that was in there. A waste of seed, I know, but I'd rather much put soybean in there so we can do our fuel refinery this fall. This shouldn't have a problem with this. It's just a little soil sampler. Let's go ahead and unfold it. Let's see, do I want a bigger map? No, bigger map doesn't help. Now this is where I keep saying a second tractor. I mean, the 710 was our first tractor, so another tractor would be nice. I could, you know, while the field's being plowed, I could already have the stone picker going around, but you know what? We only got a couple fields. It's not going to take us too long to get these jobs done. Frank Jr. is going to be coming up behind us here shortly, I think. Unless he's, yep, I'm going to let him go. I don't want to get in his way. I think we bought that tractor for what, like, what, 60,000? Something like that? Zip on right about here is good. It's kind of weird. When I bought the field, it looked bigger than it does now. I'll have to do one more sample over there. Luckily, soil samples don't cost that much. Now, I could pay to have it done like I did on No Man's Land, but we'll get it done here. Start to see the farm slowly coming together. One day we'll have big sheds around here, a huge silo. Just a few more soil samples. We'll send them off for sampling. And by then, this field will be ready to be stone picked. Of course, I didn't check if I could plant. Can I plant soybean today in the month of March? Soybean. No, I cannot. Soybean's got to wait until April. Alright, so even more time to get things done here. Okay, so one more sample. It's going to cost me like, what, 1,800 bucks maybe? Alright, send soil samples for analysis. Let's go ahead and do that. And I don't want to do this mistake again, but when we get off the field, in case I accidentally take another sample, then I got to do it over again. Well, that was us using the 710. Park that away in the back. Then we'll sneak the 710 back where that was. Alright, I'm just going to wait for myself to get done with the plow. And then we can go ahead and pick up the rest of the stones here. $1,800 for soil sampling. What kind of soil do we have here? Is it good soil, bad soil? Sandy loam. Really looking for loamy sand, I think. I think that's what we're looking for. Like I said, not much you can do about it. It is what it is. And you know what? Instead of paying myself to do this, I might as well jump in here and get rid of myself. Oh, we were just about done anyways. I do have a few spots to touch on up though, like on the corner pieces, I think. Don't want any weeds growing. We want to make sure we get rid of all the barley. Alright, let's put the plow away. We are done with that for now. And now let's get our field set for planting soybeans in the month of April. Contract on field 67 is complete. Before we go ahead and do that, let's go in... Oh, it's like, where's my worker? There's my worker. I don't want to complete the contract just yet. Let me go ahead and refresh contracts. Fertilizing, we'll accept that, and we'll accept that one. And... I'll hang on to that cultivating job a little bit longer. Actually, if I go into here, and we go... so field 6 is ours. Field number 3 has been plowed. That might need some cultivating. Field 100 has been plowed. 117, 109. So there are some fields around here that could be asking for a cultivating job. So I'm going to hang on to that cultivator a little bit longer. Just to see if something were to come up. Now I'm just going to zip around here, pick up all these stones, and maybe we'll go sell them afterwards. We'll see how many we got. We're already 10% full after just doing one small field. So I may get like 35% full by the time I finish this field here. Something like that. The one thing I need to check when I get done picking up these stones is I want to get out of the field, or get out of the tractor, not out of the field. I need to be in the field to check what I want to check. So I do remember just before we bought this field was limed by the previous owner. I wonder if it'll show up that this pH value is really good in this field, or is it just going to show up as average, or is it just completely bad? I don't know. Well, I'll have to find out here in just a second. This just came back to me when I was picking up these stones. Also, there are a few stones that I have not been able to pick up. Kind of missed a couple spots with the plow on the edges of the field, and the stone picker is not picking up those stones where I did not plow, which is kind of interesting. So I'm wondering if those are the stones that are going to be pushed back into the ground by the drill when it goes back around. But either way, I'll get them at some point because I'm going to plow the field probably every time we harvest. Well, I say I will. I may actually want to do some more weed spraying on this series. We will have ourselves a spot sprayer, probably the Kubota spot sprayer. Kind of using the Kubota mod pack. Since we'll have the mower set, we got the fertilizer, might as well get the spot sprayer for weeds. That way I don't have to, plow the field every time. I won't have to pick up stones every time. We'll let the weeds grow and we'll take care of them when needed. It just feels good to be working in a field, not seeing stones everywhere. Every contract I do in all the other farmers' fields, we got stones in them, and apparently the AI does not know how to take stones out of a field. Just wondering why that's not a job to do. But that was the same thing when lime came into Farming Simulator. We had to lime our fields, but it's never been a contracted job, and still isn't to this day that I'm aware of. Alright, let me come over to this field here. What's the pH level in this field? It says it's okay. There is some nitrogen in the field, which is fine. We don't need that much because we have soybeans here. Soybeans don't take any at all, pretty much. So this field is ready for some soybeans. I'm just going to leave my stone picker right here, actually. And I think the last thing we will be doing here this episode is those fertilizing contracts came up. Nope. I dropped it off the other way, I think. Problem with this fertilizer spreader that I have here at the Kubota, sometimes hard to tell which side's the front, which side's the back. The only way I can kind of tell is looking at the bottom center and seeing that PTO shaft sticking out down there. What fields am I going to here? 52 and 37. And the best way I find the land is put on farmlands. 52 is right behind us. And did I say 37? Yep, 37 down here. Alright, we'll go do field 52 together. That won't take us too long. Now, these two pieces of land on both sides of our homestead, if you want to call it a homestead, they're on the cheap-ish side. They're like $150,000, and I think the other one might be $110,000, so they're not that expensive. So that's something that we could go ahead and purchase. And while I'm doing fertilizing, let me go ahead and bring up the whole map. Oh, there are a lot of fields that haven't been fertilized at all. A lot of fields only have one stage of fertilizer on it. And I say about 1/3 of the fields actually are done being fertilized for the year. But fertilizing contracts, I'm not going to turn down at all. That's quick, easy cash. Although it does hurt a little bit, though, when you go down to the store and top off 10,000 liters of fertilizer, and it costs like, I don't know, almost like 20 grand to fill it on up. But it lasts such a long time for me anyways. And for what you get paid, I mean, these two contracts here is going to be like, what, 12 grand? Maybe not 12 grand. Whatever it is, but you definitely make your money back out on the fertilizing contracts. And it's been a while since I've actually topped this off with fertilizer. Actually, what I probably should do is, when it runs out of fertilizer, is go get some lime in it and go put some lime down in my fields. I can't remember now, because I did it on Elm Creek. Can I put lime down after I plant? Does that have to be before stage 1 on the crops? Or once it's planted, you can't put lime down? I forgot how that works. Alright, I got this one covered just enough. Let's see, that one was, so I'm going to get paid 74. So almost 10 grand for just doing 2 fields here. We'll collect on that one. Now I'm just going to go down and do field number 37. And of course I still got the other contracts still to collect on. But I'm going to hold off onto that because there are some fields that have been plowed. And they may ask for them to be cultivated. And I've already leased that stuff for one job. So I'll hang on to it for a little bit. And who knows. But yeah, I think we're pretty much done here in the month of March. That means April is right around the corner. And that means us planting soybeans in our new field. And then I think in April as well, our grass field will be ready. So we'll get those quickly mowed. And then we'll get our cedar and have to replant the grass in those because it's a direct drill and get our environmental score up a little bit higher in those areas. And we'll be doing rather good for ourselves. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in East Vineland. But until then, have a good one.